everybody, and welcome back to The Truth. I'm Bria Ward.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Kennedy Monet.
I'm Janice. And I'm Chelsea.
And today we'll be discussing Hills and Valleys. Like, this song came from, it's one of my favorite songs by Torrin Wells. And so it's basically he just like giving reference saying that God, even through all my situations, when I'm down at my lowest point, I still will give you reference, God. And even at the highest of my career or whatever, God, I still will bow down to you and always give reverence for everything you do because you have brought me through everything. And so I wanted for us to discuss today, like, the hills and valleys that we've been through, and what the hills and valleys in the Bible and what it talks about.
That is hard to actually sit there and I'm going to exalt God when I'm feeling low. Like that, to think about it, like you sitting there and you're like, I'm so low, but at this point, this is where I need to be giving God thanks and praising Him no matter what. The scripture says in Psalms 34, it says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. That's all time, no matter what, when you in the hills and when you in the valleys.
And talking about downfall, when we in the trenches, when we're going through, something was said today in the lines of, that's when God does His best work. It's praise God when stuff goes, when things happen to you, because that's when God can show you, that I am Him. If nothing ever happened to you, you can't. That's the measure of your faith. And when you're in the valleys, when you're in the low, you know that God, He's ever, His mercy endures forever. That brings me to my scripture. It's Psalms 103 and 17. It says, but the mercy of the Lord is everlasting to everlasting upon the fear. It's everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear Him, in His righteousness and to the children of His children. God, He has you. It's everlasting. So don't think that God forgot about me. Don't think that God looked down and He said, I forgot. Dang, that happened to her. All these afflictions, that He doesn't know what's going on. Just stick it out.
Right. So I just wanted to go off of, I just want to pick up where Kennedy left off when she was saying that it's hard sometimes when you're down in the trenches, and that's what the devil wants us to do. He wants us to think that it's too hard for God, and we've been learning in Bible study that whatever we ask in God's name, that it will be given. So we have to remember that when we are down in the trenches, as Jada said, or the valleys, that's when we should be calling on God. We should be calling on God in everything we do, and for Him to be guiding our path. And if the scripture says we can do all things, then we can do all things.
Right. Or even you said the valleys, but what about the hills? When we are on that high point in life, and we think we just, everything's going good, but just knowing I didn't get there on my own. I didn't get there on my own. God, you did this, or giving God reverence, like you said, wherever you are in life. I got, I asked God for this and I got it, but I didn't do this on my own. God, you did this, and I thank you for doing that for me.
Yeah, and in this walk, we like to get amnesia, because at first when we out. We be like, thank you, God, I know He got me through this. But then later on, I did this. But in the song, He said, God, you give and take away. He said, in every God, you give and take away. So you have to realize that you didn't earn this.
Right.
This wasn't something that you earned, but this was by His grace and by His love that He just gave it. That He gave it to you. And so you have to reference to God in that. And when He give and take away, you have to learn how to be okay with that.
It's what she said in this sermon today. He's talking about that note.
Yes, and just always having that to God be the glory mentality. I saw this sermon and he was talking about the children of Israel. Before God was gonna bring the children of Israel to their promised land, He always said, don't forget your Lord your God. I'm gonna bless you, but don't forget about me. I'm gonna bless you, but He said that, I was reading, He said that so many times, and I saw this sermon, he was like, God takes a risk every time He exalts us, because when He exalts us, we sometimes we want to think that we know what we're doing, it's you, and it's no, baby, it's God. Don't forget.
That's right.
And I got somebody in the Bible that I admired about his praise was David, because David talked about in Psalms, even when he was at his lowest point, he still knew how great is your faith. He still knew God was with him all day long, and he acknowledged God. And when he came to be a king after Saul and tried to kill him after he went through all this, he was praising God he started taking off his clothes, and people start judging him, his wife or whatever. She despised him at this point. He despised him. Hold up.
He was there?
Yeah. she despised him at that point because he didn't care what anybody else said. He tore off his clothes.
Wow.
She was like, a king shouldn't do this, a king shouldn't do that. But he said, I don't care. God gets all the reference, all the glory, when I'm up and when I'm down. And so we gotta know that like people gonna get mad at us, but we still have to remain focused on God and always give Him the reference in the hills and in the valleys.
That's right. And even in the song, he says, "I am not alone." When we are in those valleys, we're not alone. Because that can become fearful. Like you feel like, okay, I've been down here so long. Because you don't. Sometimes you can be down in the valley for a minute, like a long time. You get down like, okay, like I'm by myself. God, you done forgot about me. And that just Psalms 23, starting at verse 4, it says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thou comfort me. And I just like that. I take that like, God, I'm never alone. Like, some stuff, it might look evil. It might look like I'm about to die or whatever. Like you said, the shadow of death. But God, you are with me. I'm never alone.
Yeah, so like Chelsea said, we are never alone, guys. So we just want to encourage you that when you are in the hills and when you are in the valleys, when you are, never forget, God is always with you. So we just want to encourage you, and thank you so much for watching today's show. Until next time.
And don't forget to subscribe.